Yankees on Sunday, and Javi Baez, new Tiger, driving in runs. This is
Javi looks good in that unit.
A.J. Hinch hopes to see a lot of. So new faces, right, including Spencer Torkelson. Torque.
Nice.
A lot of torque.
They're going to give him an opportunity to win the job at first base and figure out what they're going to do with Miggy, DH.
Hey, did you know that if Isaiah Kiner-Falefa was a Yankee last year, he would have led the Yankees in hits and stolen bases? You know that?
He might do that this year.
Right? Double steal, nets Aaron Boone's guys a run. And Colby Clemens, spelled all with a K, because Roger named all his boys with Ks, because he K'd a lot of men.
I like that.
Tigers outlast the Yankees in the grapefruit by a run. The Yankees have made a lot of changes entering the season, and one of them is just bringing back Anthony Rizzo, who ended the season there. There are some familiar names gone, including Tyler Wade. Brett Gardner is currently a free agent. He may or may not return, but Rougned Odor's gone, Clint Frazier's gone, Gary Sanchez is in Minnesota. And it's a new era of Yankee baseball with Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, Josh Donaldson. So a lot for Aaron Boone to get his hands around, evaluating talent in the spring. Aaron joins us on the Monday Stove. Boone, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
We're good, man.
Boone, good to see you, man. Hey, before we dive in, I just have to have you settle one thing. You know, I sit next to Matt, this Trojan, all the time, and you being an SC guy as well. We got in this debate about cheerleaders. Is it cheerleaders or song girls? What do they call it at USC?
Song girls. Come on now.
Golly.
See? There's a nomenclature there. I wasn't making that up, man. Sorry to put you through that, Boone. That's not why we wanted to have you on the program. So we showed our fans, our viewers, a board of transactions for the Yankees. You guys have been busy. And you were busy, too, welcoming new players. What kind of a relationship did you have with some of the new guys before they became Yankees? Speaking of Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, Josh Donaldson, was there any familiarity there with you and those guys?
Yeah, so Josh I've known a little bit. Actually, I've played golf with him before, and just from covering him a little bit over the years, had a little bit of relationship, familiar with him. He actually is in touch with my brother a lot throughout the year, so it felt like I had a pretty good idea of Josh. He's been great so far. It's been a great first few days. I feel like he's kind of getting entrenched in here. Isaiah, I didn't know at all. Other than I knew I was very interested in him all winter, and that first call I had with him late at night when the deal went down. I know he's thrilled to be here. I feel like this is where he's wanted to be kind of all winter as the rumors were swirling. But we feel like both those guys are really going to help us, certainly on the defensive side of the ball, but also what they bring to the table offensively. And we've been really excited with what we've seen here in the first week of camp.
Hey, Aaron, I'm interested. You've been in camp as a player, and now obviously you've ran a number of camps as a manager. What is different than maybe when you were a player and now managing that you might try to put in and make sure it's done?
Well, this year's obviously unique, right? Just with the shortened spring training. So, you're constantly trying to strike that battle between knowing that we got to get ready for April 7th. So there's urgency with the calendar. There's a pressure that the calendar presents and creates. So we're trying to, and I think that can be a good thing because there's no wasted days. There's no wasted time. We know we got to get guys built up, but we also know we got to do it safely and smartly, because as much as we're getting ready for that April 7th is a big day for us, an opening day and the start of a championship season, but we're also getting ready for 162 and what we hope is beyond that. So we got to keep the long game in mind while also understanding the pressure that the calendar is creating. So trying to, be fairly aggressive with guys early in camp as far as getting them in games regularly, but trying to be smart in how we build them up so that they're in a good spot when opening day rolls around.
Hey, and that was always the goal when you became a veteran. I want to be ready for opening day. For yourself as a player, how many at-bats did you feel like you needed in spring to feel comfortable?
Yeah, you know what? I felt like it varied every year. You know, there were springs where, you know, you performed well. There were springs where you didn't perform well, or everything in between. And I didn't really feel like my performance, you know, once I was established as an everyday guy, correlated to the start of the season. So sometimes, Harold, I felt like it clicked for me really quick in 10, 15, 20 at-bats. Man, you're rolling along. Sometimes it took a little bit longer. I think every year is a little bit unique in that regard. But for me, it's about getting guys the volume, getting guys, making sure they're getting back-to-back, making sure they're at some point getting to that 7, 8, 9 innings and back-to-back, because I think that's the most important thing, that you put these guys in a safe situation in that first month of the season, and then you can roll from there.
I think John Heyman has a question for you.
Hey, Aaron, John Heyman here. I do have a question for you. Most years, the Yankees go in as the favorite or close to the favorite in their division. Now, this year, with the moves that the Jays made, and now, obviously, the Red Sox adding Story, I don't think that'll be the case. I think I'll probably pick the Yankees third. Maybe some teams will pick them fourth. What do you think about that? Do you still feel like you have the best team? And, you know, what are your thoughts on these predictions?
We're in the middle of March here. I think we have a chance to be great, and that's what our focus is. That's what our expectation is. But there's a long way between now and the end of the season. I love the makeup of our club. I love where these guys are in their progression to get ready for the regular season. And I know we're also in an amazing division. And, you know, as good as the American League East is every single year, it seems like this year, you know, it feels like the teams are even a little bit better. But, you know, our goal and expectation is to be at the top of the heap come season's end, and that's what we're working towards.
Boone, I know that beyond Garrett Cole, you're still feeling through your rotation 2 through 5. I want to ask you about two guys specifically, though. First being Clark Schmidt. I know that you've loved his stuff for a long time. What's his status and his health and the kind of prognosis for him? And then I want to ask you if managing Nestor Cortes is as much fun as watching him pitch, because I love watching that dude when he's out there.
Yeah, first with Clark. Clark's healthy. He looks really good in camp. Feel like he's, you know, in his first several bullpens and live sessions, it's clear that, you know, he was doing the right things over that 3 months when we weren't allowed to have eyes or hands on our guys. I think the biggest thing for Clark is being healthy. He clearly is talented enough. He has the repertoire to be successful up here. He's just got to continue to gain that experience. You know, he's missed a lot of time due to different injuries throughout his minor league career, and I think for him it's just continuing to gain those reps and experience because he's got a really he's a talented guy with a really good arsenal, and I like where he's at right now. As far as Nestor goes, you're right. He's awesome, man. And I think what gets lost with Nestor sometimes is just how good a pitcher he is, how good his stuff actually is. Everyone, I think, envisions just this crafty left-hander, which he certainly is. He's creative out there. He gives you a lot of different looks. But his stuff really plays. His fastball really plays, and the guy loves the game. The guy loves to compete. The guy wants the ball. You know, there were times last year where we got to a point in the season where he was a key cog in our rotation, and we were up against it and I may have needed him out of relief in the middle of in between one of his starts, and he's like, throw my spikes on, down there, ready to go if needed. He's a really competitive guy that loves this game, and I'm really glad he's on our team.
Hey, I want to ask you about Volpe, because we've heard so much about him. I've only seen a little bit of video. You're seeing him now every day, and what do you see from him?
Special person. You know, when we drafted him, I remember he came to the stadium. It was a rainy day at Yankee Stadium. He's a New Jersey kid, and we heard so much about his intangibles and his leadership qualities, and my first thought was, well, we took him in the first round. Can he play? Well, I think in his first full season last year, he showed he can really play, and we're also seeing all those leadership qualities and all the intangible things go along with that. We feel like he's going to be a special player for us.
No, he's definitely top notch, and I love that. Can he play? So we're going to end it with this. I
Yeah.
want to ask you, how do you keep yourself through a year now? You've been manager for a few years. Keep healthy. Do you get a chance to work out? Do you get to move around? What do you do to stay healthy and strong throughout 162 as the manager?
I have my athletic greens in the morning. I try to make sure I have that. Yeah, I try and work out. I try and get a couple lifts in a week, and I'm a Peloton guy, so I'm on that Peloton probably 3 or 4 times a week. Try and stay disciplined to that, and Jason Zillow, our PR guy, make sure I stay on top of that to keep sane in the long season. It's important to stay on that, and I try to do that.
Love it.
Jess King or Olivia on the Peloton?
Olivia sometimes, occasional Jess, but I them not as much as some others.
Got it. You know what my big beef with the Peloton is, now that we're talking about this, if I might take advantage of my platform here on Hot Stove, viewed by hundreds of millions.
Sorry, Aaron.
More classic rock. Not all of us are like dance club kids that are 19 years old, right?
Hey, you gotta get in on a little bit of everything. Come on now, Matty V.
There we go.
I go with it all.
There we go.
Well, EDM, classic rock, 80s, 90s, hip hop, whatever. Let's go. We got to get a ride in, get it done.
Got it.
The main thing is you're staying healthy, and I appreciate that.
Boone, thanks for the visit, man. Good to see you, and we'll see you at the ballpark soon.
Good to see you guys.
All right, appreciate it.
Aaron,
Thanks,
for
Aaron.
joining us on a Monday. Good stuff. We got the Yankees on our air. Can you believe that? How great is that? We get Aaron Boone. We got a Yankee game on. We got the Phillies and Yankees. Wait a minute. Phillies and Yankees at 1 o'clock Eastern?
No, it's my territory. This is my show.
Yeah, well, you're not on at 1 o'clock today. You're on at 11 a.m. That's right. You can have your jelly donuts.
My God almighty, you got jelly all over the place.
Right. Someone might even bring you a buttered roll, too. Oh, that one's dead. Oh, shoot.
Hey, you got the Royals Angels up there, too? That was Ohtani pitching today.
Hey, guess what? We got a Kyle Schwarber press conference. That's one of the few press conferences I would endorse because Schwarber's funny. I might actually watch this one, not protest and rip all my gear off.
Okay.
All right, let's bump to break.
The bump doesn't matter.
Yes, it does matter. We're talking Phillies next.
It's 5 a.m. and
I feel like I can do anything.
We've got apples and cabbage,
7,000 dahlias,
vegetables, and
brisket for dinner.
This is my happy place.
We've been coming here since 1868.
My grandmother used to say,
Don't call me, don't bother me, I'm going out to mow.
there's a lot of cushy desk jobs out there, but
I make the earth take the shape that I want it to take.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. Learn how to make the most of yours at Deere.com.
Thank you for taking care of Lorenzo.
For a noticeably smooth shave, Dollar Shave Club.
we always believed the welcoming spirit was a small town thing. Turns out, we were wrong. Wherever Jim Beam is welcome, you'll be welcome too.
I can't wait to see this guy hit. His fastball's been dialed up.
Camping season starts now. Shop the nation's largest selection of pre-owned RVs only at Camping World.
Veteran homeowners, you made a smart move when you bought your home. Now make another one and turn your equity into cash with your VA home loan benefit. The New Day 100 VA loan lets you borrow 100% of your home's value. Upgrade the kitchen, add a pool for the grandkids, or have the security of cash in the bank. With today's high home values, turning equity into cash is a really smart move.
Call 1-800-315-9537.
Boy, we've come a long way. You know, in the old days, there were no lights, no heat, no creature comforts. Just creatures. Everyone comfy?
No, sir. Not at all.
Nowadays, you just plug everything into your car. You got lights, heat.
We are out of pesto.
I'll make a run. Hey, everybody comfy?
No.
No.
Not at all.
Okie doke. Your journey at its most evolved. The fully electric Hyundai Ioniq 5 now with two-way charging.
Stuff. We love stuff. And there's some really great stuff out there. But I doubt that any of us will look back on our lives and think, I wish I'd bought an even thinner TV. Found a lighter light beer. Or had an even smarter smartphone. Do you think any of us will look back in our lives and regret the things we didn't buy? Or the places we didn't go?
10 great reasons to watch, 10 great reasons to debate. The top 10 starting pitchers right now, tonight at 8 Eastern on MLB Network.
Kyle Schwarber. This is beautiful. That guy has the green light at all times. Oh, my.
He's getting back to being that dominating offensive player.
There are no more get-me-over fastballs to start baseball games than Kyle Schwarber's in the leadoff spot. Belt high, goodbye. Schwarber launching one.
What we're seeing is amazing and unbelievable. A standing ovation for Kyle Schwarber. Right now, his bat, his swing is out of this world.
We've already quoted Clint from Coming to America once, but we'll do it again. That boy good. Kyle Schwarber is good, and he is added to an already pretty good Phillies lineup. Notable additions. Let's concentrate on the left-hand side of the screen. A lot of bullpen help between Hand, Familia, and Knebel. Rick Nelson, I mean, that has been their kind of their Achilles heel for the last 3 years. Johan Camargo will add to the depth, stays in the division. And the two big prizes this offseason to kind of fill in around Bryce Harper and company, Schwarber and Castellanos. Castellanos deal's not quite done yet. We're waiting for the Kyle Schwarber presser as the Phillies media has gathered at spring training. Kyle wearing number 12. This is a big deal. And I guess if you were to have said the Phillies would add Schwarber and Castellanos, say like, I don't know, November 1st. Mm-hmm. Where would you have the Phillies in regards to the Mets and the Braves? If we had a whole winter to digest this new lineup, are they as good? Is it a legit three-team race, or is there still a gap they need to close?
If it was November, the Mets didn't have Scherzer yet.
Good point.
You know, so that would have maybe even tilted the division had they got him. Maybe Scherzer ends up going that direction. Who knows? But I would have had the Phillies right there. I just felt like they didn't close games last year. The bullpen that they have now allows them to win games. They were winning so many games, 8th, 9th inning, that they just threw away. So they're going to be a very good team. I will say this, and I'll throw it back to you for comment, but it was important to sign Castellanos and Schwarber. If you're going to do the Bryce Harper contract, you got to put some people around him.